What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, well, we are approaching the, I guess, 1/3 mark of the event for the Great Burning for Splinterlands 5-year anniversary. Apologize for that. And you can see here that we are actually also approaching 350 million DEC burned. Now, obviously, there's also another 155 million DECB, but I really don't care about that. I don't count that number. That demand was already pulled forward. So to me, at the end of the day, it is just about the current DEC supply, getting that down, the circulating supply down. So 345 million is where we're at. I had talked about, after we crossed 300 million, like within a couple of days, I had talked about hopefully getting up to 500 million. Again, these are just arbitrary numbers, so they're kind of just goals that I'm putting out there that I hope that we hit. But it is cool to see that even in just the past couple of days, we have seen, almost 50 million burned. In fact, let's actually go over to Splinter cards, and you'll be able to see here, let me close out of these. You'll be able to see here that, on the 7-day, so a week over the past week, and I'm recording this on Thursday afternoon, so it's already been alive for about 9 days. So the past 7 days, we're still at 72 million. We've burned 20 million over the past 3 days, and even just in the last 1 day, it's another 5 million, which is a lot higher than what we normally do. Before this event, we were averaging about 1 million per day. So this event has been very successful in getting people to kind of jockey for position, take advantage of the multiplier the earlier in the event. And we still have, 2/3 of the way to go. Now, obviously, I don't think that we're going to see any fireworks really until the last couple of days, maybe even just the last day, as people, it's a weird game of like chicken here where it's like, well, if I don't spend any today and they don't spend any today, then neither of us really lose out. So it's like, who's going to blink first and be like, nah, I want to take advantage of the multiplier. I want to take advantage of being earlier than the rest. And I think that for most folks, we're not necessarily going to see that unless it's like you're in one of the top, either the top 10 positions, either you're in the top 60 or the top 200, and you're just trying to stay close and in the race by taking advantage of buying in now. So I do think that we will continue to see a decent amount of burning if we continue this way for the next 20 days, roughly, we'll say, right? For the next 20 days at 5 million a day, 20 days, that would be another 100 million and would get us to roughly about 450 million total. So we're not too far away from, again, my arbitrary goal of 500 million. Plus, that would also get us under the 4.6 billion mark. And if we can get even further below that by having some fireworks over the last couple of days, that would be phenomenal. So I see a lot of comments out there talking about looking at the top wallets in terms of how much DEC is being held. Obviously there's still a good amount being held on just Hive Engine itself. And like I said, a good amount of this, I would say 1.8 or 1.9 billion from the last time I calculated it, was in liquidity pools. So I don't know that that'll necessarily move. Although if it does, then it increases the APR for those liquidity pools and creates another opportunity for those wanting to jump in there. So if you just look at some of the top accounts here, again, it's hard for me to really judge. Obviously there's still some in the millions, some even above 10 million, but you don't really see any like in the tens of millions, and not necessarily that we saw that before, but a lot of people still need to hold for land too, and that's kind of where I'm trying to drive at with this. So let's go back here. What I'm looking at as part of like, okay, what do the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months look like? Well, we'll just say the next month, next 30 days. We're already almost 10 days into this event, and we know that land is going to come out at some point between now and hopefully the end of July. It was supposed to be the end of June, which would have perfectly coincided with the ending of this event. But now for at the end of July, we may have to wait a little bit. And so seeing where we are at from an overall circulating supply once land is out and available, obviously everybody's waiting for that. I think we're all hoping that can stimulate the economy in a really, really positive way. And while I am excited and hyped for it, I I want to remain cautiously optimistic. I don't want to be bullish and think that, oh, we're automatically going to get to PEG. I think actually, I think some of the narrative right now about, oh, once land is out, like we're automatically going to get to PEG and there's going to be no more problems. I just call me maybe Papa Bear again, right? But I feel like I've been disappointed too many times. So I don't want to just make that assumption that all of a sudden we're going to see DEC fly up to PEG. We're going to see SPS, the SPS flywheel begin. I mean, obviously that would all be awesome, but I really want to see how involved people are with land, because we don't know. I mean, we don't know how many people are going to be taking their land and maximizing all the returns right on day one, right on even month one, right? In fact, we know a lot of large region holders are planning to just hang tight and maybe only work on 10, 15, 20% of their land, maximize those, and then slowly build out over time, playing the long game rather than jumping in feet first. So it's really hard to estimate that. And I know I've done videos in the past trying to speculate on like, whoa, what would this look like if, half of land or a fourth of land was utilized and maxed out. Again, this is all just speculation until we're actually there. But obviously there's not enough DEC if we do hit a certain threshold of land, right? For example, if all land is going to be utilized and maxed out, that's 7.5 million DEC. Now, granted, it'll be a little bit less than that because I'm sure a lot of Rooney is going to be used as well, so that will reduce some of the costs. But again, not 7.5 million, 7.5 billion. So we'll just say 7 billion DEC. We are not anywhere close to that, but I don't know what the actual, accurate estimate will be for once we get started. Now, the other thing that may come with this, that I'm obviously really looking forward to and have been looking forward to for a while, is SoulKeep. And so if we can get a release of SoulKeep, and I have no idea what kind of tokenomics to expect with SoulKeep outside of the fact that they are paying out SPS. Right now you get it just for holding the packs. But once the game is actually live, what will that look like? I don't know from a DEC perspective, but my hope is that as the team has teased, we will get a lot of DEC burning opportunities on day one. If we don't, I'm sure the team just wants to get the game out, but it would be really disappointing if there's no ways in which we can engage with the platform, with the game specifically, and use DEC, have that be something else, whether it's a marketplace, whether it's, buying a cosmetic item, well, not cosmetic items, but, they talked about a lot of consumable, I don't even know if it's consumables. I forgot what it was, but there's going to be like account bound things that they're planning for. So obviously we have zero idea where Tower Defense is in terms of its overall development. There's been no dev diaries except, and anything that's really come out, sorry, just got to be honest, anything that's come out from a dev diary has been really vanilla and not offered anything of substance. So that is the reason I say that is because it's just such a huge question mark that could be a huge positive. But right now, I don't really want to factor it in because, one, we don't know the release date, and two, we don't know what the actual impact could be. But I just want to call it out as something else that could be this X factor over the next couple of weeks and months here. But ultimately, land is obviously the big thing. And if we continue to burn at the rate that we've been burning at, which is about 5 million a day over the past week, actually, it's actually more than 5 million a day. I'm quite confident that we can hit that 500 million by the end of the month. And that'll put us in a really, really good place to see what the demand will be like for land once that actually goes live. But that is really all I have for you guys in this video. I hope all is well on your end. I will catch you all in the next one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How much DEC you think will burn between now and the end of June or the end of July. And I will catch you all in the next video. See you around the game. Take care.